External data is also called alternative data. And external data is what you see on the other side of a company firewall. So traditionally, companies have been pretty good on analyzing their internal data that might come from sales numbers or employee reviews or whatever. But they're also been very poor to look outside of their own firewalls on data points that, for example, is on the internet. The reason and how businesses actually are acquiring external data is, of course, differs from companies to companies. But one main thing that I think is going all over the board is that it is pretty difficult to acquire data insights from the internet because of the nature of internet. You know, it's very chaotic, it is very unstructured, which means that you need to have kind of the basic set to be able to even crawl the internet for data. And I think also that is the reason why companies in general can't do this on their own. So there needs to be some kind of third-party provider that helps them to gather this data. There are lots of brands that are using outside insight and has done it for many, many years. I just think that they haven't seen it as outside insight or external data insight. It's been more role-based, depending on what you're doing in a company. So let's say, for example, that you're working in marketing. Yeah, you have used quite a lot of external data points, but it's been very siloed for the enterprise. And the same could be for other departments in a company. So what is happening now, I think, is that there is I wouldn't call it an external data revolution, but at least that companies are being even more interested in, okay, we know this is relevant for us. How can we actually use it across the board, not only for the different functions in a company? The future for corporate decision making. Well, I think both you and me are using Ubers or Booking.com, or we're shopping online these days. I think most of the people is actually transferred over to the new digital reality. But what is quite obvious is that in an executive room or in a boardroom, they are still relying a lot on the last quarter sales results. How was the industry moving last year? And not that's something we call for lagging performance indicators. They're actually pretty poor to look at the leading performance indicators, which basically is what is happening right now, and take those real-time data points, aggregated to an insight that actually makes you like you're driving in a car, you're not looking in the rear window also when you're driving. So I think there is, I've seen some good examples of executive teams that is starting to get an interest in this, but to be honest, there is no company out there that has a structured way of using a lot of real-time data points in their actual decision making. So the future is bright, I would say.